Hello there, and welcome back to Sleepy Tales by John, a place where every night feels like a quiet little rendezvous. I'm truly glad you've found this small refuge hidden among all the noise of life. Tonight, we're going to let ourselves drift into the vast universe. This journey will carry you through deep, velvety regions of the sky, slip you between trails of shimmering meteors, and let you float gently among the great distant galaxies. Tonight, we will drift softly through 100 wonders of the cosmos, as if we were wandering through a garden woven from starlight. From the last lingering echoes of the Big Bang, the oldest whispers the universe has kept, to the faraway worlds where diamond rain falls like scattered light. We'll touch each secret gently, slowly, as if our fingertips were gliding across the surface of a dream. At times, you may find yourself smiling at the universe's strange, adorable oddities. At other times, you might feel your eyes grow heavy, lulled by the quiet roar of black holes, or the stillness of lonely planets drifting through the dark. Every discovery tonight, whether small or immense, will settle beside you like a quiet fragment of a cosmic tale. A story so vast and so beautiful it stretches beyond the boundaries of what the human mind can fully hold. If you enjoy these slow, wandering journeys, you're welcome to like, subscribe, or share your thoughts. Who knows, maybe your whisper will guide another wandering soul to this gentle corner of the night. And now, let your shoulders soften. Let your breath slow down. Let the night sky pull you gently into its arms. If you're ready, then let us begin. All right, as the first doorway of the sky closes softly behind you, we step into another space. One where darkness isn't merely the absence of light, but a soft material of its own. Thin and smooth, like black silk woven from billions of years of silence. From the place where we stand together in imagination, the sky no longer feels like an empty stretch, but like an image of an ocean that breathes. Slow, deep, steady, like the heartbeat of the universe. Imagine that the universe before you isn't a sky sprinkled with stars, but a black, endless ocean, smooth and bottomless. Every beam of light you see, whether from a distant star or a faint reflection from an ancient galaxy, is like a tiny boat. These little boats pushed off from their harbors when the universe was still young, crossing the cold, sleeping dark, for billions of years just to arrive where your eyes now wait for them. And somewhere in that vast ocean, those tiny boats wander into invisible currents, places where dark matter curls into gentle streams, lifting and bending the paths of light. And deeper still, dark energy whispers into the ocean's edge, stretching it wider, further, softer, as if unseen hands were smoothing the rim of a great sea, letting it swell and breathe into infinity. If you tilt your head just slightly, you can imagine that beneath this dark, still surface are hidden rivers. They hold no water, no sound, no scent, and yet they create motions that turn the entire cosmic ocean. These are the rivers of dark matter. They don't shine, but they outline the universe the way hidden roots shape the forest above them. Because of them, galaxies cling together, drifting smoothly like quiet leaves carried along a current. Sometimes, light glides across these calm regions as if drifting through a windless night. Other times, it's pulled into invisible whirlpools, where space curves softly downward like a shallow bowl, bending the light's path by the tiniest angle, so small no human eye could ever notice it, yet enough for the universe to tuck away another secret for itself. And then, when you look toward the farthest edge we can observe, the border where light becomes too faint to see, imagine that place, like the horizon of the cosmic sea, a trembling line where light cannot travel any farther. Not because it doesn't want to, but because the universe has stretched its curtain too wide, too fast, leaving those tiny boats of light forever unable to reach the shore. That limit is what we call the observable universe. But tonight, in this story, We may call it something gentler, the faraway shore of a dream. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself drifting in a small boat across that cosmic ocean. There is no sound except your own breath. The sky above and the sea below blend together, so you no longer know where one ends and the other begins. Around you, boats of light pass like tiny embers, carrying stories that have traveled billions of years. Perhaps one of them holds the memory of a long-vanished star, or a greeting from a galaxy no human has ever named, or simply the trace of a lone photon born in the dawn of time, patiently finding its way to you. In this moment, the universe is no longer a complicated idea or a tangled equation. It becomes a quiet ocean, cradling you on its soft, dark surface. And you realize you are not lost at all. You are simply drifting, slightly, slowly, safely, through a sky-sea far grander than any dream humanity has ever imagined. And from that ocean, we will gently move toward the hidden cities of light that rise out of the deep. The galaxies glowing like luminous islands scattered across the vast night. Now you'll begin to notice faint glows far off in the distance, soft islands rising beneath a thin haze of space. They don't appear suddenly. They sort of bloom into your sight, the way a fog-covered city reveals one lamp at a time. This is when we move into the next chapter of our journey, the chapter of the star cities hidden in the dark. If the universe is a boundless ocean, then galaxies are floating cities, adrift in its depths. Each galaxy is an enormous island where hundreds of billions of stars burn like lanterns that never go out. Some star cities are dazzling, like long ribbons of gold fluttering in the night. Others are faint, pale as breath in the cold, glowing just enough to remind you they're there. As your imagined gaze drifts outward, you'll see the Milky Way, our galaxy, stretching across the sky like a soft, glowing road. Picture it as a quiet town, a small home nestled within a sea of stars. In that home, our solar system is nothing more than a tiny lamp flickering on the farthest outskirts. Humble, quiet, smaller than a cottage lantern under an evening porch. And there, behind the milky haze of space, you'll see Andromeda, our distant companion, drifting slowly toward us in a dance so long and gentle that even time itself seems to have forgotten when it began. Imagine two cities of light gliding toward one another, unhurried, undisturbed, a meeting written long ago, deeper than memory, slow as the breath of creation. Each lantern in Andromeda seems to float on the cosmic wind, as if preparing for a visit to the Milky Way in an evening, billions of years from now. Every galaxy feels alive. Their spinning is their heartbeat. Their spirals are wings unfolding. Their bright centers are hearts rekindling their fire. And all of them turn in absolute silence. Silence so complete it feels like you might hear the universe whispering. And the magic is, each galaxy carries its own story. Some are young and bursting with light, like newly opened cities full of energy. Others are old, fading, like ancient villages hidden in mist, lit only by their last few lanterns. Yet whether young or old, bright or dim, they are all drifting. Drifting like giant ships through a sea with no harbor. Drifting through the invisible currents of dark matter, through the expansion of space, through laws that sometimes even science cannot name. Take a long, slow breath and imagine yourself standing at a vast window into the universe. Through it you see hundreds, thousands, millions of star cities, each a story you'll never finish reading. And you realize you're not alone at all. You're standing in a great city of night, where every galaxy is a neighbor, and every point of light is a quiet goodnight sent from somewhere far away. Perhaps somewhere out there, a tiny galaxy is sending us its very first beam of light, after wandering the darkness for billions of years. And tonight, with nothing more than your gentle imagination, you can receive that light. as if welcoming an old friend home. Let that image drift across you like a night breeze, and when you're ready, we'll step deeper up off the extreme soles of the cosmos, where black holes and neutron stars stand guard at the universe's edge like silent, ancient sentinels. Yes, if you listen long enough, you'll find that the universe has a rhythm of its own. A rhythm not measured in minutes or hours, but in the breathing of light. Because every star, whether small, massive, young, or ancient, begins with a single breath. In a far, quiet corner of a galaxy, where cold gas and dust lie layered like soft blankets, a giant cloud gently contracts. That is the universe's inhale, a gathering. A quiet drawing in of its own strength, as though space itself is pulling all its energy into a single point to prepare for something so beautiful no language can describe. And then, slowly, that cloud becomes warmer, thicker. Light begins to kindle from within, faint at first, like a candle flickering beneath a thin mist. But then it grows brighter, stronger, and when the universe exhales, that light bursts into a new star, a lamp awakening in the vast night. If you picture it closely enough, you'll start to see each star as a meditating being. Inhale, it pulls in, contracts. Exhale, it glows, over and over, no rush, no haste. And every single star, depending on its size, its temperature, and its lifetime, lifts its own unique story into the dark. Red dwarf stars burn slowly, like gentle elders, living longer than almost anything else in the universe could ever hope to live. Huge blue stars blaze fiercely, shining with wild, exquisite beauty, but burn out quickly. Like artists so passionate, they end up consuming themselves. Yellow stars like our sun are soft and warm, like a companion whose breathing you're so used to that you sometimes forget it too, is telling a long and quiet story. All of these characters made of light dance to their own rhythms. A music not in sync, and yet somehow together they form a great symphony only the universe can truly hear. Then there comes a moment when a massive star feels it has breathed enough for one lifetime. You can imagine it lying down, gathering its glowing layers of gas around itself like a final warm blanket. And then, in that instant, the universe hears a last breath. A breath so powerful it lights up everything around it. The explosion of a supernova. But that explosion is not an ending. It's more like a gentle farewell from a lamp that, with its final flare, scatters millions of seeds of heavy elements into the night so that new generations of stars can be born. Every grain of dust from an ancient star can become a planet, a moon, or even your own body. A part of you, the atoms in your bones, in your blood, is a gift from a star that once exploded billions of years before Earth ever formed. When you think about that, everything suddenly grows very still, as if you've just discovered a hidden thread tying you to the very light now drifting in the night sky outside your window. Imagine standing in a soft darkness, feeling the stars breathing with you. Every time you inhale, clouds of gas in the universe pull in. Every time you exhale, a new light flickers to life somewhere in a distant galaxy. You and the universe, two beings that seem so far apart, become more connected than ever. And when you let your mind soften just a little more, you'll see that the journey of the stars is not just a dry, physical cycle. It is the journey of everything that has ever existed, being born, growing, shining, and then returning to the night. But each time they return, they leave something precious behind. A fragment of life, a drop of memory, a lingering warmth of light. And when the echoes of those stellar explosions finally fade into the dark, when the heavy metal dust left behind by an old star is gently falling into distant corners of the universe, a very quiet realization begins to appear. Even after the light has gone out, the story of a star has never truly ended. Because once the bright envelopes disperse, what remains, scores compressed, as if time itself had been frozen, becomes some of the strangest milestones in the entire cosmos. Extreme, silent, steadfast souls. They are the threshold between light and shadow, between life and stillness, between what can be seen. If, in the earlier part, stars were like brilliant lanterns of the sky, then in this part, we step into the realm of lamps that have gone out, but in some mysterious way have become more powerful than when they were shining. Here, black holes, neutron stars, and magnetars appear not as the monsters people often describe, but are Senartes, as the silent gatekeepers of space, beings that do not speak, that barely move, but whose presence is so deep that just by standing near them, you'd feel time itself slow down. Black holes. The name sounds frightening, but in truth, they are so quiet, they are almost meditative. You can imagine a region of space where light is no longer strong enough to escape, not because it's eaten, but because space-time around it has curved in on itself, like the surface of water when someone presses a fingertip into it. If you were to drop a ray of light in there, it would bend like a soft ribbon dancing in the wind. A black hole doesn't devour light. It simply holds on to whatever comes close, as if it were drawing those things into a calm, soundless embrace. A dark hug, peaceful and wordless. Neutron stars, the terrifyingly dense remnants of massive stars, are like spinning lanterns in the night of the universe. They're so small that you could imagine an entire city crushed down to the size of a ball, and yet so heavy that a single teaspoon of neutron star material would outweigh Mount Everest. And they spin so fast that, at times, they're like the drumbeats of the sky, steady, strong, and patient, beating on for millions of years. If you listen carefully, with the ear of your imagination, you can almost hear that spinning, not frantic, but steady, like the slow turning of a lantern hanging high in a temple on a mountain. And then there are magnetars, the magnetic hearts of the cosmos. When a star that once shone fiercely has collapsed into an extreme point, its magnetic field becomes so strong that even the slightest nod could warp the space around it. That field is so intense that if a magnetar were to appear near Earth, though that is almost impossible, every electron in your body would tremble like strings on an instrument pulled too tight. And yet the strangest thing is this: they are not noisy. They do not explode, blaze, or roar. They simply are. Quiet. Present. Like the heartbeat of someone deeply asleep. A kind of power that doesn't need to show itself. If you allow your mind to loosen just a little more, you'll see these extreme souls as the Zen masters of the universe. They have passed through fire, through light, through radiance, and now they have chosen stillness. Stillness so deep that time itself doesn't quite know whether to hurry or slow down as it passes by them. Many people think this is where a star's story ends, but if you look at it gently, you'll see this is not an ending at all, but the deepest state in the journey of light. Light has burned, has exploded, has traveled for billions of years. And finally it lies down and curls into the most concentrated version of itself. When you think of that in tonight's quiet, you may feel a kind of peace that's hard to name, like realizing that even the most frightening things in the universe are also practicing stillness in their own way, not threatening, not destroying, simply existing in the deepest form of themselves. And in this moment, you'll feel the story shifting quite naturally. From these extreme souls, the tale gently opens into a new chapter, where space is no longer smooth and flat, but begins to show folds, ripples, and strange little waves in the heartbeat of the universe itself. Tiny irregularities, just enough to make us wonder whether space might be living to a rhythm we haven't yet learned to hear. As we step away from the realm of these extreme souls, black holes sleeping in the depth of the cosmos, neutron stars spinning like silent lanterns, magnetars trembling with magnetic strength beyond words, a subtle lightness begins to seep into the story. It feels like walking out of the deepest night and slowly letting your eyes adjust to a softer glow. In front of us, the universe opens into an entirely different chapter, the chapter of distant worlds, places so strange that when you think of them, you're no longer sure whether you're talking about science or a dream quietly weaving itself into shape. The universe is so vast that every planet is its own story, written according to rules only it fully understands. If we let our imaginations soften together, you might begin to feel that every world out there has its own personality, its own quiet style. Odd, perhaps, but beautiful in a way that makes your mind loosen, like silk unfurling in slow motion. There are planets where diamond rain falls like light broken into pieces. Imagine this. Under a deep violet sky, each drop of diamond falls to the ground with a sound you cannot hear, a sound you can only feel with your soul. A rainfall that doesn't soak your clothes, carries no smell of earth, and leaves no puddles. Only a soft glimmer, like a blessing whispered down from a faraway sky. Then there are worlds where seas of lava spread out like glowing lakes. There, everything is washed in red and orange, as if the planet is carrying the burning heart of the universe inside it. The lava flows slowly, like a heavy, luminous melody, and the air above it shimmers with heat, like the long exhale of a giant creature sleeping beneath the crust. And strangely, tucked inside all that fierceness is a deep calm, the calm of natural law, of things simply being exactly what they are meant to be. Remember the feeling of looking at the ocean at night? There are planets where the entire world is ocean, an eternal sea without coasts, dark but not menacing, deep but not cruel. Only waves folding into one another under a pale light, a light that may not be from a moon we know, but from the reflection of some distant blue star. Such a world has no land, no mountains, only endless water, as if we were lying on a giant droplet drifting through the blackness of space. There are also planets that never see the light. They move through absolute darkness. No sun, no sunrise, no sunset, and yet they still exist in their own way. Imagine a place where darkness isn't an enemy, but a thick blanket wrapping the entire planet in an unshakable stillness. There, every motion is slow, small, and soft. Time seems to move by breaths, and no one hurries it along. Then there are planets given the strangest kind of gift. 2 red sunrises every day. 2 twin stars climbing the sky together, pouring their light over the land, creating a moment where if you stood there, you'd feel as though the whole universe were opening a new door of light just for you. The sky blushes faint red, then deepens, then lets gold seep through, like a painting changing with each gentle brushstroke. Morning on such a world isn't just a moment. It's a ceremony. The universe is beautiful in ways beyond anything we can easily imagine, isn't it? Every time we look at a distant planet, we're not just seeing a ball of rock or gas. We're glimpsing a story that world has been writing for billions of years. A story with no spoken language, but told through colors, weather, light, and the way it glides along its path through space. When you close your eyes and let your body relax, you might feel as if you're floating above one of those worlds. The ground beneath your feet is as soft as stardust sand, the sky above you either glowing or perfectly still, and everything around you is as light as a breath. You don't need to understand the complex rules tucked inside these places. You only need to let your mind drift the way those planets drift along their orbits, slowly, gently, without hurry and without worry. From those strange worlds, our journey will gently glide into yet another realm. The realm of the universe's quiet children. The frozen moons that hide entire oceans beneath their icy skins. If planets are bright, dazzling stories, then these moons are the small secrets patiently waiting to be opened. They are lonely moons, small wandering souls drifting in distant orbits, so silent that people almost forget they exist. And yet inside that silence, vast hidden oceans are slowly shifting beneath the frozen crust. Europa, Enceladus, Titan. Each name feels like a soft breath, echoing from some hidden corner of the universe, where light only brushes past for a moment and then disappears, leaving a silver-blue darkness covering the entire surface. But beneath those layers of ice cracked like a fallen mirror, lie oceans so deep and vast they defy measurement. What makes them beautiful is not their cold, distant faces, but the feeling that beneath that still, icy shell, something may be quietly breathing. Europa is a perfect example. If you close your eyes for a moment, you might feel yourself standing on a smooth sheet of ice, white like moonlight, where long fractures stretch across the surface like cold veins in the body of a sleeping giant. Beneath your feet, just a few dozen kilometers of solid ice away, is a boundless ocean, deeper than any ocean on Earth. A dark ocean, but not necessarily dead. An ocean where every ripple whispers that maybe, just maybe, life found a place to begin its story there, long before humans ever looked up at the sky. Enceladus tells a different story. A tiny moon, small as a stray stone among the stars, yet every now and then it sends towering plumes of water spraying out into space, as if it's trying to send a delicate signal to the universe. These jets of water soar hundreds of kilometers high, then fall back in shimmering veils. Inside them, scientists have found traces of organic molecules, the tiny seeds of life, like a reminder that even in absolute darkness, life might still be trying to push through, like a sprout in the middle of winter. And then there is Titan, a vast moon with calm lakes and seas of methane that drift like nighttime lakes under a hazy sky, where dim orange light from the faraway sun is just enough to paint everything in a soft, nostalgic glow. Titan feels like a quiet child, shy of noise, but with a heart full of secrets. There, winds slide across dunes like a storyteller's voice, and in those still lakes, science believes the first reactions for a new kind of life may be taking place. A life that is not like us, not like Earth, but life in its own way. Imagine standing on Titan, watching cold drops of methane fall like chilled gemstones. No sound, no crashing waves, just a thick silence wrapped around the entire moon like a blanket. And inside that silence, you suddenly realize something. Even when the universe is unimaginably cold, it still cradles millions of possibilities for life, like a vast mother waiting for her children to wake up. These moons are not loud like exploding stars, not dazzling like galaxies, not fierce like black holes. They simply wait. They wait to be touched by human hands. Wait to be seen. Wait to be listened to. Wait for the day someone finally discovers what has been whispering deep beneath their frozen oceans. And when we think about the billions of years they have spent circling their giant parent planets, Jupiter, Jaredin, we begin to sense a kind of beauty that is hard to put into words. The beauty of patience, the beauty of stillness, the beauty of worlds that never rush. These moons remind us that not everything that shines brightest is the most important. Sometimes the most silent things hold the greatest secrets. So let yourself soften a little. Let your breath flow out slowly, and imagine that you are walking through that frozen garden, where every step makes a sound as gentle as snow touching snow. Beneath you, a black ocean stirs, as if it knows you are listening. Above you, A deep violet sky stretches so wide that every worry you brought with you melts away like a warm breath fading in cold air. And as we stand at the edges of those oceans hidden under the ice of Europa, Enceladus, or Titan, we suddenly feel a very strange truth of the universe. The most important things often lie beneath layers of silence. They do not show off. They do not call out. They do not demand our attention. They simply exist, quietly waiting for us to learn how to listen. And when we finally learn to listen to the silence of these moons, to the shifting of oceans in the dark, the soft trembling of ice, or simply the slow turning of their orbits around their giant parent planets, we begin to sense another door slowly opening. A door that doesn't lead to frozen worlds or diamond rain planets anymore, but to the unseen, to the things that are all around us every day but that our eyes have never touched. The universe, like a storyteller with a gentle smile, wants to whisper to us. There are things you cannot see, but they are always holding you. This is the moment when our journey steps into the realm of light that human eyes cannot see. Have you ever wondered whether the space around you, right now in this very moment, is truly empty? If you close your eyes and let your breath flow gently, you might sense that space is not empty at all. It is full of things our eyes cannot see, full of subtle movements our senses cannot feel, yet they are here, sweeping past us, passing through the earth, through the galaxy, like soft strokes from an invisible painter, brushing color onto the universe's canvas. Let's begin with X-rays. Slender lines of light like silver threads woven into the fabric of the night. They are so delicate that the slightest interaction can slow them down in time, yet so powerful they can pass through the densest layers of matter. If you could see them, you'd realize the sky is not just a scattering of stars, but thousands of bright streaks flashing by quick as thoughts, beautiful as strands of the universe's metallic hair. Then there are radio waves, ancient whispers of the stars. To ordinary ears, they are completely silent. But if our minds were soft enough, we could imagine them as echoes from far-off corners of space, coming from places billions of light years away. Each radio wave is like a reminder that the universe has never stopped talking to itself, and to us. But perhaps most magical, most ghostly of all, are the neutrinos. Neutrinos are ghost particles. So small it's almost impossible to imagine. So light they are barely there at all. So quick they slip past the very idea of speed. Every second, trillions of neutrinos pass through your body, through the earth, through everything, as if all matter were only the thinnest of scarves. And yet, you never feel a thing. No touch, no tremble, no glimmer of light. They sweep through you like an invisible flock of birds flying in perfect formation. No sound of wings, no disturbance left behind. If you could see them, you'd find yourself standing inside a waterfall of soft light, every particle gliding past you like a cool summer night breeze. The universe sends them everywhere like tiny messengers, so gentle they leave no trace, so abundant they quietly remind you that you have always been wrapped in the universe's flow, even when you didn't know it. And then there are quantum fluctuations, vibrations so small that no language can truly describe them, yet they are the foundation of everything. You can picture them as tiniest ripples on a nighttime lake. The surface seems perfectly still, but if you look closely enough, you'll see little waves appearing and fading in an instant. They are not loud, not forceful, not brilliant, but they are the heartbeats of space itself. If you lie down now, open yourself just a little, and let your body feel light. You can imagine the whole universe becoming a vast lake, and you, a small leaf resting upon it. Every vibration, every wave, every unseen tremor is holding you up, not to carry you somewhere else, but simply to let you know that you are not alone. This invisible world is a part of us, just as we are a part of it. We are woven from particles no eye can ever see, from vibrations no ear can ever hear, from light no ordinary sense can ever touch. And it is these very invisible things that whisper to us the most important truth. The universe holds us more gently than we ever imagined. Your breath softens just a little, and the journey opens again. From these unseen waves, we will go even deeper, to the story at the beginning of everything, to the moment when the universe was glowing red, like a sunrise taking its very first breath. Now, imagine this. Before all the things we've just wandered through, before Europa, before the diamond rain planets, before X-rays and radio waves, before every galaxy, there was a time when nothing had a name yet, and that moment was not a chaotic explosion, not a bang that crashed and then died away. It was more like an endless dawn, where the sky didn't change from night to day, but from non-existence. Everything began from a single point, so small it defies imagination, yet holding all the energy of the universe inside it. And then, in a breath so short it can hardly be measured, that point opened, like a flower suddenly blooming in the dark. There was no roar, only expansion, only light slowly rising, like a sun edging upward along the horizon of a morning that will never grow old. Scientists call that instant burst of expansion inflation, but we can picture it as the very first powerful heartbeat of the universe. A beat that pumped up space from smaller than a speck of dust to a vast, unimaginable size, in just a fraction of a moment. It was like a deep inhalation no one could see, but one that changed the fate of everything that would ever exist. As space unfolded, the first light appeared too. Not bright like noon sunlight, but red, warm, and dim, like the sky at daybreak, while the sun is still hiding just below the horizon. That era lasted for hundreds of thousands of years, the universe glowing red and hot, like a great lung learning how to breathe. And then, as the universe slowly cooled, light began to separate itself from matter and drift away like millions of tiny clouds floating in an ever-expanding space. That light is still here, all around us, in every corner of the night sky. We call it by a beautiful name, the cosmic microwave background. If you look at the CMB with the eyes of your imagination, you'll see it as an ancient tapestry, woven from the finest points of light. A picture painted in the earliest days, long before any galaxy had a shape or a name. On that tapestry lie the very first sketches of the universe. Tiny hot and cold spots, little swirls, simple structures. As if the universe were trying to draw its first self-portrait. And from that ancient painting, from those subtle light and dark patches, from those tiny ripples, the universe began to condense, like dew gathering into drops. That was when the first star was born. Imagine the very first light in the primordial darkness. It wasn't gentle like the stars we know today. That first generation of stars, population 3, were enormous, unimaginably hot, and so bright their light could wash out the Milky Way as we see it now. They did not live long. They burned fiercely, then exploded in one last breath, scattering the first elements, oxygen, carbon, iron, out into space. As you take a slow, deep breath, remember that every element in your body was once forged in the heart of stars like these. You are carrying within you the ashes of ancient dawns, of flames that burned billions of years before Earth was born. In its quiet way, the universe spent an immense amount of time writing this first chapter. Patient, unhurried, never in a rush. And everything we know, every planet we admire, every invisible wave passing through us each second, has its roots in that miraculous moment when darkness was lit for the very first time. Now, as we lie here in a peaceful night, listening to the story of the universe, it feels as though we are being carried back to that very dawn, where the first soft, warm light drifted through newborn space like the first breath of an infant. And from that origin, the universe's story kept unfolding, changing, flowing along to its own rhythms. Some of those rhythms we understand. Others are still wrapped in mystery. And as we gently step back from that crimson dawn of the universe, from the moment when the first light opened its eyes and the first stars pierced the primordial dark, a very special feeling slips into the mind. It's like standing on the top of a high hill, watching the sun rise in the east, then slowly turning your head toward the west and imagining how that same sun will one day set. The same arc, the same cycle, the same breath. The universe is like that too. It was born, it grew, and one day it will reach the end of its own path. And so we begin our walk from the dawn toward the dusk of the cosmos. Imagine if the history of the universe were a piece of music without end, then the far future would be its final notes. Thin as mist and quiet as a breeze. No crashing sound, no brilliant burst of fireworks, no loud turning point. Just a symphony slowly drifting towards silence, one beat at a time. Our universe right now is still bright. The stars are still burning, galaxies are still spinning, clouds of dust are still gathering themselves in mysterious rhythms. But if we sped up time and let our gaze run forward by billions, trillions of years, we would see a completely different picture. A picture painted in fading tones, paler and paler, until only a few lonely strokes of light remain. First, the stars go out. Not all at once. The most massive stars will be the first to leave. They explode, leaving behind black holes or neutron stars. Smaller stars like our sun move more slowly. They swell up, turning into red giants, then shrink into white dwarfs, small, white-hot remnants, tiny yet incredibly dense. But then, even white dwarfs will cool. Their last light will dim, like the final breath of a candle. One day, in the far future, the universe will be filled only with black dwarfs, extinguished stars that no longer shine, lying still like cold stones scattered across an endless night. Then it will be the black holes' turn. The supermassive black holes, the most powerful giants in the universe, do not live forever either. According to Hawking's predictions, they slowly evaporate, so slowly that no human measure of time can truly grasp it. But no matter how slow, the evaporation continues. Each tiny bit of radiation is a quiet exhale, and one day, even the very last black hole will disappear into the dark, leaving nothing behind, as if it had never been there at all. Yet the symphony still doesn't quite end. It just slows and slows until time itself seems to stretch between each moment. Some theories suggest that protons, the particles that make up all familiar matter, might eventually decay too. If that is true, then after an almost unimaginable span of time, even the last atoms will crumble like faint dust. The universe will become sparse, cold, and still, like a winter night where the sun will never rise again. Try to picture that moment. No light, no sound, no meaningful motion. Just a vast ocean of cold, dim space, stretching on forever, like a night in which morning has quietly chosen not to return. And yet, even in that absolute darkness, there is something very soft, very subtle, a hidden breath. Something science hasn't yet reached, hasn't yet named. Perhaps it is the trace of a parallel universe flowing alongside our own. Perhaps it is the ripple of a cosmic cycle that has happened before and will happen again. Perhaps it is a seed for a new Big Bang, buried in the darkness like a sleeping seed beneath frozen soil, waiting for warmth to bloom again. The future of the universe, cold and faint as it may be, carries a deeply meditative beauty. Not the beauty of light, but the beauty of acceptance. Not the beauty of explosive fireworks, but the beauty of letting go. Like listening to a piece of music until its final note fades away, there is no more sound, yet the echo still lingers in your mind for a very long time. That is the beauty of the universe, when it enters its final night. And when we think about that in the stillness of the night, we realize that the universe's journey is not simply marching toward darkness. It is a circle, a great breath, a motion that never truly stops. Perhaps after that last night, there will be another dawn. Perhaps from the cold ashes of the old universe, a new light will open its eyes, like the first chapter of a story we have never heard before. Now, turn your attention gently to your own breath. It too has its cycles. Moments of fullness, moments of emptiness, moments of brightness, moments of quiet. Your breath and the breath of the universe resemble each other in such a strangely beautiful way. And as the fading symphony of the future closes on a distant, silent note, we suddenly notice something very strange. No matter how many cycles of light and darkness the universe passes through, no matter how many stars vanish, no matter if black holes dissolve into nothing, somewhere along that endless river of time, there is still a faint heartbeat, a gentle reminder that the universe's story has never truly gone silent. It has only changed its shape, changed its way of whispering. And in the instant we sense that, the path to the final chapter of tonight's journey opens. Softly, like a door easing open under moonlight. You know, after we've traveled together from the universe's very first breath to its distant, dim future, something incredibly beautiful begins to appear. We have never been separate from that journey. We are not standing outside the universe, watching it like some distant guest. On the contrary, we are woven from the very first threads of light, from the ashes of stars that exploded long before Earth existed. When you place your hand over your chest and feel your heartbeat, that rhythm is not just yours. It is the rhythm of ancient hydrogen, of carbon that once lived in the heart of a giant star, of atoms that traveled through space like lonely wanderers. And then, all those wanderers gathered together to become you, a being who can look up at the sky and smile. Isn't it miraculous that in a universe so vast and cold, a tiny creature appears, capable of feeling the beauty of that vastness? If the universe had a heart, perhaps it would beat in time with yours every time you quietly look up at the stars. As we fall asleep tonight, all the lights we've drifted through, the crimson Big Bang, the fading stars, the distant galaxies, the frozen moons, are still continuing their endless journeys. But the truly wonderful thing is, we are part of that journey too. Your sleep, your breath, the silence you are listening to right now, all belong to that greater rhythm. Imagine, as you sink into sleep, galaxies keep turning, tiny neutrinos continue streaming through your body, and light from places billions of light years away is still traveling onward, as if the universe were continuing the story for you, even while you dream. And in that dream, you are no longer small. You become part of that great river of light flowing through 40 billion years of cosmic history. And now, very gently, let this story dissolve into your breathing. Let your shoulders soften. Let your eyes close, like two doors opening onto a quiet inner world. You don't need to understand everything. You don't need to remember. You only need to feel. To feel that in this unimaginably vast universe, you are a warm heartbeat, a real breath, a living presence that knows how to listen to gentle things. We came into this universe from stardust, and every night, as you sleep, it is as if the universe is holding you close to the same sky where you were born. So tonight, allow yourself to be at peace. Allow yourself to be small, to be soft, to be still. Those distant lights will go on with their journey, and you can slowly drift into sleep, cradled by all the wonders we've just walked through together. I wish you a sleep that is deep, and light, under the sky where everything began. Sleep well.